Cheers, legends. Sammy from Short and Stout Beer Reviews. Welcome to day 14 of the CARWYN CELLARS can vent box. It's by a brewery I have absolutely no idea about. They're from Victoria, and I've got a feeling I've seen the name mentioned at CARWYN CELLARS, whether it be a collab with them or they were maybe on their tap list once. But I'll have a stab at the name. I'm going to say Beereratne. It's called Serendip is the name of the beer, and it's a tropical stout at 7.7%. So it's always good to try a new brewery. But yeah, very weird name, Beereratne. I wonder, I've got no idea how it's pronounced, so sorry if I butchered your name, guys. So yeah, tropical stout, 7.7%. Obviously the first beer I've had from them. Yeah, I've just knocked off night shift, so this will obviously be my first beer for the weekend. Looking forward to it. Actually keen for quite a few today, so hopefully I can stay up till like lunchtime and put a few down. Cheers, Joe. Good to see you, brother. Is Paul and Michelle still going? I obviously checked in with them when I was at work on a coffee break, but since then I've done a bit of overtime and just got home. Good old overtime on a Saturday. It's what you want. Cheers, Josh. You up for a beer, bro? We should have a beer. I'm going to do 2 reviews and then I think we should have a beer. Yeah. Were they messy? So here it is in the glass. I'm not going to say jet black. It's more of like a dark chocolate. It's got like a tan tinge to it. About a half finger head. It looks, I'd probably say light to medium. Certainly doesn't look very full. Carbonation's pretty light as well. So yeah, tropical stout. Who knows what it's going to be about? Like it's obviously just going to be a lower ABV stout. Dare say with like pineapple, coconut, banana, that sort of thing. Or it could possibly be a stout with Sabro or one of those, like a couple of hops that bring you those sort of notes. So yeah, we'll soon see anyway. So let's go a whiff, shall we? I like the fact that they haven't said much about it on the can, so it really leaves you thinking. It's got definitely got some roast to it, and you're getting some tropical sweetness, but it's like whether it's like an addition of fruit or they've just the hops are full on. It's actually hard to tell. I am getting like a pineapple note though. Well behaved today. Good on them. Good people. I'd love to live the life they do, buddy, going to different destinations all the time. It's brilliant. So yeah, you're getting like a rich roasty base. It actually smells like the base is pretty decent, which is a good sign for a new brewery. But yeah, it's just really hard to distinguish what's going on with the tropical side of the beer. All I get is like a really sort of sweet pineapple smell. Anyway, I'm a thirsty boy. Time to go in. Cheers. quite a solid base. Getting like dark chocolate and caramel. And it's like a really sort of like a burnt toffee. It's almost got like a smokiness to it. Like I'm getting a little touch of tropical fruit. There's just this like underlying pineapple, but it's like, where's it coming from? Maybe banana, mango, something like that. Yeah, it's really got me intrigued. This would be one to give to a heap of like beer tasters, like a panel, and they have to really nail down what it is exactly. Like I could see it being an addition of fruit, but to a very sort of subdued like amount. But then I could also see it possibly being like Sabro or Talus or even like Sriracha or something like. There's that slight tropical. Mm, you definitely get more of the base anyway. So that's why it's hard to distinguish what's going on. Beereratne. Beereratne. Yeah, I could imagine people are probably like, how the fuck do you say that? Beer Ratna. Beereratne. I'm trying to think how I pronounce it at the start. I got a feeling I sort of said it like that. Hmm. Anyway, hello, Jagman 6 or Jagman 8. Oh, no, it's 7. That's it. How are you, brother? Yeah, I'm just getting the base pretty much. There's certainly some tropical sweetness there, but yeah, got no idea where it's coming from. But yeah, mostly dark chocolate and caramel, and from sort of like it's like a smooth body, but it's pretty light. I mean, looking at it in the glass, it's even lighter in color than what it looks. It's actually more of like a dark brown. You on the beers, Jagman, or what? It's definitely got some, yeah, like roastiness and bitterness though that sort of like lingers on. I'm pretty keen to get loose today. I actually don't feel like I've worked all night. Like I think tonight was pretty cruisy. Like it wasn't a stressful night. Wasn't like mentally or physically draining like some nights are. So like even though like I haven't gone to bed after work, like I'm running on whatever sleep I had yesterday. Yeah, I feel all right. I mean, I'll relax. I'll have a few beers and relax and end up getting tired. But at this stage, I feel pretty good. Yeah, Shandy. You got to do it every now and then, bro. And that's another thing for your mental and your physical health. Hmm. I feel like after this, obviously December's always nuts with me with beers, with the Advent beers, and I always seem to get a heap of hype American stuff in December as well. So it's just flat out. Like I enjoy it at the time, but once it's done, I'm like, oh, thank God that's over. So like the worst thing is it's summertime for us. You guys, if you did dry January, it's like the middle of winter. Whereas for us, it's like the peak of summer. It's where you want to have beers. So yeah, I think when December finishes and January hits, I'll just like won't drink much during the week. I'll just have more weekend beers just for a couple of weeks to sort of find my feet again. So what else is news in people's worlds? Trying to think if there's anything exciting going on in the near future for me. I don't have any like festivals or anything coming up. Christmas time's pretty grim for me. Um, yeah. I do have some awesome concerts coming up, but they're all like ages away, like 6 months to a full year away. Yeah. I'm just hoping we get some solid, decent weather and start taking the little fellas to the beach and shit like that. Just bought a heap of Belgian beers. Looking forward. Fuck yeah. Can you reel off any names, dude? I've got a couple in the cellar. I've got maybe one or two in my fridge. Speaking of Josh, if you're still there, we need to do that Cantillon or Three Fontaine at some stage. And another thing too, to my US counterparts out there, not that many of them are probably in this stream because it's a bit early, but I've got to compile a list of all the US beers I've got at the moment and see if anyone can get some, and we'll do some reviews together. I have some pretty good stuff and like quite the list. He actually did a stream yesterday, dude, but normally when he does a random stream, he'll message me and say, probably the same with you. He'll say, "Oh, I'm going to do a stream. Like, what are you up?" No, he'd be like, "Oh, what are you up to? Are you around? I'm thinking of doing a stream." In other words, come up and have a beer with me. Yeah, and he did one yesterday, but like, yeah, I didn't know about it. He might have like sort of been aware that I was at work or whatever. Yeah, I just remember seeing it and thinking, oh, he didn't even like hit me up. It was sort of spontaneous. Like, who did he have on there? He had Matt from Massive Beers was there at one stage, but there was someone else. Oh, Paul, PA Brew News. So I think it was Paul was there first. Like Craig was by himself, I reckon, for ages. Then Paul joined, and then I reckon Matt joined. And then the two of them left, and then I think Craig kicked on for a while, but I'm not sure if anyone else joined. I just jumped in the chat for a while because yeah, I was at work or I just got home from work. Left Lashoof. I'm not familiar with that third one. Duval. Duval. Chimay. Oh, cool. Yeah, I've had most of them, dude, but not recently, like back in the day. That should be good. What you'll have to do though is not drink them all. Thing with Belgian beers is they really creep up on you. Like you put them down and you're like, geez, this tastes good. It's strong, but it's good. And you'll just be sitting there like on your stool or at the bar or whatever. And then next minute you've had like 3 or 4 and you get up to go to the toilet and you're like, wow. The old danger ales. Got to be careful. I'd love to go to Belgium. Be so sick. Yep. Yeah, bloody oath. But they don't like you know how you have like a 10% IPA and you're like, ooh, that's boozy. Like you can tell it's boozy when you're drinking it. It's like full on. Some of the Belgian stuff, it might be like 8 or 9%, but yeah, it might be like rich and you get a sort of slight booziness, but yeah, it definitely creeps up on you. Some of them are like really hide the booze. They're real tasty and yeah, there's some beers that I need, especially too. Like I've only just started this YouTube channel less than a year ago, dude. So I'm obviously very advanced when it comes to what I've drank in craft. I've had fuckloads of stuff. Like I've been drinking craft since 2012, I think. On Untapped, if I had kept going with all my check-ins, I'd be at about 11 or 12,000. Like that's how many different beers I've had over the years. And yeah, beers like that I've obviously had back in the day, early in my craft journey, and like enjoyed them. But I haven't really had them recently. Like they're sort of beers I need to revisit, see what I think now, especially with like an advanced palate. And quite often you can get, we've got these, I'm about to explain to you, you should know. But yeah, Dan Murphy's, quite often you can get a lot of stuff in Dan Murphy's, dude. I keep right, yeah, when it comes, just about everyone I explain Dan Murphy's to is because they're American or UK. And then I'm like, Joe's in Australia. He knows what Dan Murphy's is. Yeah, boy. How you going, brother? You've just joined in when I'm about to depart and start a new one. So I'm on a tropical stout, and it's by a brewery that I know absolutely nothing about. All I know is they're from the same state as me, which is Victoria, which sort of like Australia. I'm patriotic about where I'm from, but the government can fuck right off. So yeah, it's called Serendip Beereratne. Ratna. That's I was saying Ratney, Ratna. That's what it was. Cheers for the hookup, Joe. So yeah, tropical stout, 7.7. It's rich, it's roasty, it's nice, but yeah, I'm getting some tropical like sweetness from it, but I just can't put my finger on like what it actually is. I reckon a score for this, I'd probably say like a solid 4 out of 5. It's good, like it's drinkable. It's yeah, obviously no offensive flavors, like it's quite tasty. But yeah, it's just a bit, I don't know, what would you say? Slightly confusing. Solid base though anyway, so yes. Oh yes. Good shit. Yep. Yeah, there's been a few Sydney or New South Wales like online bottle shops I've used over the years. It's like Beer Cartel, Craft Cartel, Bucket Boys. There was even like a hotel out of Newcastle I used to buy stuff from. One pub slash bottle shop I like in Sydney. It's in Newtown. I think it might actually be is it the Union in Newtown? It's like a real crafty pub. Pretty cool. I really enjoyed Newtown and Marrickville. It sort of reminds me of like Collingwood and Fitzroy and that in Melbourne. That's where you got to do. You've got to do that area, dude, if you're looking for sort of good food and like beers and stuff. Collingwood and Fitzroy is where it's at. Smith Street. Smith Street used to be an absolute shithole. Now it's like real trendy. But anyway, I better wrap this up and go do my next beer. So yeah, those of you that are here and happy to listen to more of my shit, come over to my news stream, which will be starting in about 5 minutes. It'll be the Mountain Culture, this one, an oat cream IPA. Oh shit, nearly dropped it. It's got a plane on it. It says something about Taylor Swift using her private plane. Cheers, Joe. Always a pleasure, mate. So yeah, I'll be doing this next review in about 5 minutes or so. So whoever's over there, I'll see is there. And if not, thanks for chiming in. And thanks to whoever watches it later on. Love yous. Bye bye.